Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back once again. We are continuing on the lateral posture series, and we are now on day 9. Holla! If you have been following along, congratulations. This has been a wonderful series for building up your side bodies to empower you to be able to have the side and core strength to come into a handstand and a forearm stand. And that's where I last left you. So once you've come out of your forearm stand, you'll be coming onto your knees, which is very simple. Once you've come up into forearm stand, you will have just come down and come into Bhekasana. So Bhekasana, or child's pose, your hips are over your heels, your arms are stretched out in front of you. On your next inhale, roll your spine forward to come into a knees down into your ribs. Slowly lower yourself down until your entire torso is resting on the floor. Plant the tops of your toes, the toenails into the floor, and walk your forearms out in front of you so that your elbows are directly underneath of your shoulders, pressing into your palms, pressing into your forearms and elbows. Elongate through the back of the spine and gaze forward. I can't gaze forward entirely because I have an injury in my left shoulder currently, but you want your chest to be shining forward, your neck to be up, your gaze to be forward, and if this is uncomfortable for you because you also have neck strain, wherever is comfortable for your neck is perfectly fine. So grounding down with the right toes, so much so that your right knee comes up off of the mat slightly, grounding down with your right hip bone as well and your thigh. Point your left toes up towards the sky, and then inhale, reach your left arm out in front of you and around to the back so your palm is facing out to the side, and see if you can grab onto the inside of your left foot. Pressing your left toes into your palm if you'd like more of a stretch across your chest, and take 6 full Agni Raj breaths here. So inhaling, filling up the belly and pressing it into the floor, feeling it rise all the way up the front body and into that left chest and shoulder. Exhaling, contracting the core, pubic bone touches the floor, and low belly and belly button pulls away from the mat. Inhaling, pressing into the palm, utilizing the force of your body to help other parts of your body. So we're pushing into the palm to extend and increase the stretch or the intensity across the left shoulder. So once you've completed 6 full inhales and exhales here, on your exhale, release the foot, slowly lower it down as you reach the left arm back around to the front and place it down parallel to the right arm. We're going to do the other side. So inhale the right toes pointing up towards the sky or ceiling. Exhale here. Inhale, reach your right arm out to the front of you and reach up and around and back and grab onto the inside of your right toes, pressing the toes into your fingertips and into your palm, using that force as the toes on the left foot are still grounding down into the mat. So maybe you can see on this side that my left knee is not touching the mat because my toes are pressing in. So if I were to relax my left leg, my left knee and quad are resting on the floor. But if I engage in that left glute, pressing the left toenails into the floor, my knee raises up off of the mat. And if I engage in this right glute and right quad and press with the toes into my right palm, it increases the stretch. It allows me to open up across the right shoulder blade even further. Again, taking full breaths here. 6 full means the full extent of your inhale and the full extent of your exhale. So inhaling in and breathing all of the air that you possibly can into your lungs, filling up your belly. pubic bone pressing down into the mat. Exhaling, contracting the low belly, and breathing every last drop of breath out, fully expressing your inhale and exhale. When you've taken 6 full breaths, release that back foot, reach the right arm back around, and place the right palm down next to the left in parallel. Come up onto your back toes or tuck them under, and walk your palms underneath of your shoulders. Then pressing yourself up with a flat spine to a modified plank, so knees are lowered down. And then walking the palms back through tabletop, crossing the shins and ankles over one another, and simply come back to sit. Extending the legs out in front of you and shifting yourself so you're about midway down your mat. Placing the feet into the mat and slowly beginning to roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time. We're going to come into wheel pose here. So first get yourself all the way down to the mat, lowering down, and walk the heels in towards the sits bones. Try to feel every part of the mat with your back. So every part of your back, your low spine is grounding down into the floor. Your mid spine, the back of your ribs. So you're holding in your core here, your upper spine or your thoracic. And you're reaching the fingertips down towards the heels. What I also recommend is if you have a pillow or a bolster here, and wheel is not currently in your practice, take that bolster, so rocking over to one side, and place that underneath of your torso, so that when you lie down, if you feel on the back of your neck, your C7 is the vertebrae that protrudes the most. If you have that resting off of the edge of a bolster or a pillow, as I have, and your head hangs slightly. If you're up on a bolster, this would be a little bit higher, but this is all we have, so that's what we're going to use. Again, bringing the heels in towards the sits bones and placing the palms back behind you so that your elbows are facing up towards the sky and your fingertips are facing down by your shoulders. So this might feel a little strenuous if you haven't done all 8 of the preceding postures. Pressing through the heels, squeezing the glutes together, come up into a bridge, and then pressing those arms straight. If you cannot straighten your arms all the way, then simply lower down, tucking your chin until the upper spine rests on the bolster, and lower down one vertebrae at a time as you come back down to lying on your back. And just try this a couple times. So what's going to really help you here is pressing through those heels and really squeezing those glutes together to press those hips up into the sky. Doing a lot of push-ups and shoulder presses will also help strengthen this. But for now, if this is super challenging, just first pressing your hips all the way up and then pressing through the arms and lowering back down, tucking the chin a lot. What we want to avoid is you coming up and straightening your arms and resting the top of your head on the floor. Your cervical spine, your neck vertebrae are extremely sensitive and tiny. So we do not want to put the whole force of our entire body weight on the crown of our head. What we want instead is to let our head hang heavy and loose. We want to be able to shake our head no and yes. And if we can't do that, then we simply tuck, squeezing those glutes, lower down, upper spine, then mid spine, lower spine, until our entire back is resting. So try that a couple of times. If you can get up into wheel, then please try to stay in full Agni Raj breaths for an entire minute. That is the challenge. If you can't go a full minute, then try 3 breaths to start, tucking the chin, lowering down. Then the next time you try 6 breaths. This is an incremental increase. So we're not adding injury to ourselves, we're protecting our neck and our spine each time, maintaining a strong core, squeezing through the glutes, and using those really big, strong leg muscles to press us up into wheel.